Hello guys, so in this video we will learn about Kubernetes architecture. Kubernetes architecture contains nodes, ports, control plane, kubelet, API server, and there are other various components that comes under Kubernetes architecture. Okay, so Kubernetes comes with a client server architecture. It contains master node and worker node. Within master node, we have API server, controller manager, scheduler, and etcd database. Whereas in a worker node, we have kubelet for communicating with API server and kube proxy for networking and container. This Docker is a container for the runtime storage or manage container. So let's learn about Kubernetes components. Node. Each kubelet cluster, it means a group of node, require at least one worker node, which is a collection of worker mechanisms that make up the node where our container will deploy. Control plane. The worker nodes and any other pod contained within them will be under the control plane. It means the complete architecture comes under control plane. Let's talk about control plane components. It is basically a collection of various components that helps us in managing the overall health of the cluster. For example, if you want to set up new pod, destroy pod, scale pod, etc., there are various functionality that we want to perform basically for service run on the control plane. Kube API server. So the API server is a component of Kubernetes control plane that expose the Kubernetes API. It is likely an initial gateway to the cluster that listen to update or queries to the cluster that listener to the updates and the query via CLI like kubelets. kubectl kubectl communicates with the API server to inform needs to be done like creating pods or deleting pod, etc. It also works as a gatekeeper. It generally validate requests received and then forward them to other processes. No request can directly pass to other processes or pass to other cluster. It has to be passed through API server. Next, what is kube scheduler? When API receive a request from scheduling ports, then the request is passed on to the scheduler. It intelligently decided on which node to schedule the pod for better efficiency of cluster. The kube control manager. The kube control manager is responsible for running the controllers that handle various aspects of cluster's control loop. This controller includes the replication controller, which ensured that the desired number of replicas a given application is running, and the node controller, which ensures that the node are correctly marked as ready or not ready based on their current state. What is etcd database? So it is a key value cluster of the state change get stored in the etcd. It acts as the cluster brain because it tells the scheduler and other processes about the resource are available and about cluster state changes. Node components. There are the node where the actual work happen. Each node can have multiple pod and pod have contains running inside them. There are three processes in every pod that are used to schedule and manage those pods. The following runtime is needed to run the application. Container runtime application. A container runtime is needed to run the application container running any pod inside, for example, Docker. Kubelet. Kubelet interacts with both container runtime as well as the node. It is the process responsible for starting a pod within a container inside. What is kubeproxy? So let's learn about kubeproxy. It is the process responsible for forwarding the request from service to the pod. It has intelligent logic to forward the request to the right pod in the worker node. There are various commands that we perform. For example, kubectl get pod. It will show all the pod running. It will show the name of pod and the state. If it's 1/1, it means it is in the running condition. The status is running. Restarts 0. Age means when it get restarted or what is the age of this pod. Second command is kubectl get nodes. It will show the name of node, status of the node, and what is the role of this node, and the age and the version. The next command is kubectl get nodes. Both commands are similar. So let's in next video we will learn more detail about the commands, and the next topic would be installation and setup, in which we will include Minikube, K3s, Kind, Kubernetes on cloud. So please continue watching this video. Thank you.